a few days in Vilnius, Lithuania. I'm going with my husband on one of his work trips, and I'm planning to sort of tour around the city, visit some yarn shops, kind of sit in different cafes and that and knit for a few days. I am trying to get packed, but I'm actually struggling a little bit to decide what to wear. There is a bit of a cold weather warning there right now, so I think the nights are around 1 or 2 degrees. The days are about 13 to 15. So sneakers, sweaters, jeans, and knitting, obviously. So I'll probably just be bringing my milady's dress, but I think I'm gonna bring one ball of pure silk so that if I get a sudden urge to cast on my cumulus tee, then I can. But I pretty much need to be full steam ahead on the milady's for now, so I really can't deviate too much from that over the next few days, or I'm not gonna stay on schedule for finishing it up for May 24th. So I'm gonna go ahead and get packed and prepare for the trip. So I'm just getting ready for day 2 here in Vilnius. Yesterday wasn't really anything yarn related other than knitting on the plane because it was the only day that I had with my husband here before he starts work today. So we did a lot of sightseeing, kind of saw all the major things that he wouldn't have time for the rest of this week. And great first day. I mean, Vilnius is beautiful. It's really blown me away just in terms of the quality of the service here, the food, the architecture. Coffee seems to be a really, really big thing here. There's so many amazing coffee places, also like pastry shops. So I actually think today I'm going to start off with going to Backstage Roastery, which is just down the street from our hotel, and have a cinnamon bun there, which they look delicious based on their Google listing, and try some coffee. And then I'm going to head off to the first yarn store for today, which is Saulės, and it's a little bit far away, so I think I'll probably just take a bolt over there and then probably go knit in the park for a good part of the day. It looks like there is quite a nice park there. I forget the name of it, but it looks huge. And if it's anything like the park we saw yesterday, which was just had a running stream through it, lots of trees and nature, I think it's going to be the perfect place to go knit, maybe read for a bit today. I think I'm just going to take it a bit chill because tomorrow I have a walking tour to learn a little bit more about the city. So I am going into today with a little bit of a plan for yarn. I am trying to find something for the Popopo jacket, as well as the Farnham tee. I do have a little bit of space in my suitcase. I also brought a tote bag for this specific purpose, so I'm quite excited. The yarn store today looks honestly incredible. I was looking at their selection yesterday. They seem to have Gupard, Sadness, Cardiff Cashmere, which I would love to feel, Knitting for Olive, as well as I'm hoping to find maybe some brands that are a bit new to me that I can't easily find in Amsterdam or online. And yeah, I'm hoping maybe some people in the yarn store can help me today pick out the best things. I also need to keep in mind I am going to another yarn store tomorrow, but from what everybody said for recommendations, the one today is the best one in the city. So I am definitely planning to stock up there if I can, and yeah, see where that takes me. Day 3 in Vilnius, and yesterday was so great. I did a really long walk through the park after going and get some coffee at a few different places here. Walked down to Sula's, the yarn store that I planned to go to yesterday, and I think I spent about an hour in there. They had such a good selection of yarns. So basically every type of drops that you could want, tons of Sadness, Knitting for Olive, BC Garn, which I'd never felt in person, Cardiff Cashmere. I mean, I could go on and on. So Jurgita helped me there, which was so nice. She was is a viewer of this YouTube channel, so it was super nice to meet in person and have her kind of help me pick yarn for my project. So I did end up getting yarn for the Popopo jacket and the Farnham tee. I might swap out the Popopo jacket yarn for a different project, but I'm gonna see what I come across today. I plan to go on a walking tour, so there's a free walking tour here. It's just to kind of pay what you want, so that'll be about 2 hours. I always like to go and get a little bit of the history and really understand what all the different landmarks are, rather than just exploring myself and reading signs. So that will be really nice. And then I'm gonna go from there to I think it's Mazigmo Zona, so the second yarn store, which Jurgita was saying they have a really good selection, but I was looking at the website yesterday and it definitely seems to have a different selection, but a lot of yarns that I've never had an opportunity to really feel in person. So not sure if I'll buy much today, just because yeah, I can only carry so much home in a carry-on suitcase, and I've already spent quite a lot of money. Oh, the other yarn I bought yesterday was a 100% linen yarn here from Lithuania, and I will need some help figuring out what I'm gonna knit with that. So I got enough to hold it double. It is a bit rougher on the skin, so maybe a top, or I'm thinking maybe an accessory of some kind, maybe a bag could be interesting. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it here. It's still just such a beautiful city. So excited to get some history today. Oh, and tonight I also have a knitting date, so we're gonna go to the park, and tomorrow it's heading home in the afternoon. So quick trip, but definitely enjoyable. My final few hours in Vilnius, and I'm honestly really sad to be leaving. This has really been a city that wasn't at all on my radar before coming here with my husband, and I'm so glad that I did. Not only is it just a beautiful city with tons of forests and nature, also the food is incredible, the people are so kind, and I haven't been bored for a single moment here, and honestly there's still a lot that I miss seeing. So I definitely hope to be able to come back at some point this year. I'm gonna head out and have a final coffee or two, maybe a nice cake. I keep passing a place that looks so delicious. I also am hoping to stop for a bagel because I keep hearing the bagels here are really delicious and kind of rival, we'll see, the New York style bagels. So I think I'm gonna see how hungry I am. We've been eating so much while here and my stomach kind of hurts, but I feel like I need to get in those final few moments of eating and really just enjoying. The second yarn shop I went to, I didn't end up buying anything, but they had amazing selection of retrosario yarns, Isair, I think almost all the yarns from Isair, also drops. What else did they have? Oh, and Schopel, which is like the Zauberball kind of yarn brand. So that was really interesting. It was definitely a beautiful shop, lots of selection. I wish I had kind of had more projects in mind because I didn't want to buy yarn just for the sake of buying yarn, and I think you guys know now from my other videos that I don't love buying yarn to just have it in my stash. So at least now I know what I like at these shops, and also I believe through all of them I could order online. So that might be a way to just come back and support the same yarn shops just by ordering through their web shop. And then near the second yarn shop, Mezgamo Zona, there was another shop called Happy Art, which I wasn't originally planning to stop at, but it was literally right around the corner, so I decided to just pop in. They had a lot of brands that I hadn't heard of, as well as a lot from Katja Concept. Seemed to be a bit more acrylic based yarns there as well, so I didn't gravitate towards many of them. But they did have the Katja Concept Silky Lace, and when I felt this, I just really enjoyed the feel. It's merino extra fine silk. It is superwash, color 186. And I am thinking actually I'm going to use this for the Italian spring chalette. I can never remember exactly which pattern from Francesca, which is also the Italian knitter, which one it is that I'm planning to make, but I'm pretty sure it's the spring one. And I think it calls for around 600 meters of yarn, and this is 260 meters per 50 grams. So I should be able to get pretty close. Maybe I'll just make it a little bit shorter. So that was all the yarn that I bought. I also had to be mindful of how much suitcase space I had because we did just bring carry-ons and a tote bag. So I couldn't buy a whole lot more than this on this trip, but if I come back, I definitely will plan to go buy more. I think especially from the second yarn shop, I would like to get more Isair yarn, and that seems like a great place to go. Also, not an actual yarn purchase, but new yarn nonetheless. I went on a knitting date yesterday with Gintara, and she has her own hand-dyed yarn shop called Ambertone Yarns, and she gifted me this gorgeous, gorgeous mohair. So this is 72% kid silk mohair and 28% silk, single ply, 50 grams, 420 meters. So yeah, I am not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. I'm actually thinking maybe I will work it into my Cecil shawl pattern that I showed a few podcasts ago. But yeah, I need to find definitely something special for this. Maybe it's a hat, maybe it's part of maybe a striped shawl of some kind. But yeah, this is gorgeous. So if you want to support a hand dyer in Lithuania, please go check out her Etsy shop, I believe. She has some really beautiful stuff. She was also knitting yesterday with a kind of hand dyed purple yarn that she made, which was so pretty. So yeah, definitely lots of yarn to take home with me and cast on amongst all the other projects that I have planned. Final point before I head out for some coffee. I was a really bad knitter on this trip. So outside of the, I think 13 rows that I did on the trip here, I only got around 10 to 12 more rows in over the last 3 days. So my dress is very, very slowly growing, but I just measured and I have roughly 16 centimeters left. So that would be at least 50 to 60 more rows, 6 of which are linen stitch at the bottom. So it's feeling slightly impossible that I'm gonna get this done within the next week and a half, because my next few days are also super busy with stuff when I get home. But I'm just gonna have to use every spare moment to knit on this. So I did bring extra yarn on this trip that I had hoped to cast on for my Cumulus tee, but that didn't happen because I really had to focus on this project. So I'm going to take it for my coffee now and try to get in as much as I can in the next couple hours before I head to the airport. So.